It's the NFL on.
Set to go, Young Wei Koo ready to do the honors. And we are underway from Cincinnati. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
First carry for Christian to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for or setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here that if you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside 3rd of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Alex Highsmith simply would not be stopped on that play.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Now Burrow. It's Williams on the catch. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now it's Burrow. They set up the screen for Henry. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now Wilson. Got his man. It's Warren. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
They go play action now. Wilson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. George Pickens, 65 yards. And the Steelers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Now the try here for the point after. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was finished off by a George Pickens touchdown grab. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bengals set to take over. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10, right at the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 3. Here's Burrow. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. First catch here by St. Brown. Good for a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Henry again on 2nd down. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. And they'll send the tight end in motion. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a 1st down.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there, and he did a lot of that on that play.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another 1st down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the...
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
Here's 2nd and 10. Burrow will throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Burrow. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down.
They'll turn things over to Brandon Aubrey now for the field goal.
Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Steelers offense and George Pickens set to take over again. And what a start he's off to. You don't want to start prorating numbers out for 4 quarters, but it's fair to say this defense is going to have to find some way to slow him down.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now it's Wilson. And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the first. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man covers are so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
2nd down and 4.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson.
He finds Pickens over the middle.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 27-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Wilson.
That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
A great play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Coup for the extra point.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it was finished off by a George Pickens touchdown grab. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Ready to go on offense. Out come the Bengals.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Right back to Njoku.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They go play action with Burrow. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. They'll look to throw here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now a 2nd and 10.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a good effort there after the catch. He looked the ball in and then tried to get it to the goal line. What a nice tackle to get him down. But they're set up well now. 1st and goal at the 1.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Henry is in. Touchdown, Bengals.
You think back to some of the great goal line bruisers of the past, the Earl Campbells, the John Riggins, the Marshawn Lynches. I think you can put Derrick Henry right in that group as he scores there with another patented Derrick Henry run.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. So that drive in total 8 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The visitors' offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work. And he's had an early impact on the game. Sensational so far. And they'll likely be looking to find more ways to get him involved. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. Throwing is Wilson. Finding Williams once more, complete.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Now it's Wilson. A throw left side, caught by the tight end, Freiermuth. And Freiermuth going to have a Steelers first down as the tackle is made at the 28-yard line. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Harris. And shoves him off at the 20. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
First down, and they go back to Harris. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Wilson. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Steelers are able to stretch out their lead. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And in the end, a Calvin Austin touchdown grab finished the drive off. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards that time for number 14.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
Now it's Burrow. Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now Burrow. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 34-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Here's Burrow. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it second down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
In motion left goes Smith. Now they'll fake the jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And this offense on third down today, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Burrow looking to pass. And that went to the right side and incomplete. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution, because he realized he's in field goal range. No sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
And his kick is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game.
So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He really continues to pick apart this defense. Last drive, perfect, and it culminated in his 3rd touchdown pass.
As long as we've been doing this, how many times has a player in this type of a zone described the game as really slowed down?
Yep.
So right now, instead of warp speed, it's
snail's pace.
Oh, snail's pace for him, and he can do whatever he wants. Feels like he has all the time in the world to throw the ball, and his offensive line has been giving him that.
Completes it to Austin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a first down carry for Harris. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2nd and 5.
They run again with Harris. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 51 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Play action. Now Wilson.
That's caught. It's Austin left side.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Now it's Wilson.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
2 yards on the pickup there. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Steelers first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Can we just take that run and turn it into a kind of a clip and save? Because that tells you everything you need to know about this drive. They've been moving the ball awfully well.
Now a 2nd and 6. Now Wilson. Now the ball comes loose. And it looks like one of the DBs has it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to the positive side this time. Yeah, there was a fumble at the end of this one, but what a sustained drive. And if they keep stringing those together, you got to like their chances.
And credit the defense, though. You're out there for that long, you start to get tired, but they were able to get the turnover.
Did you just credit the defense?
I like to credit the defense and the offense.
I like you.
And the analysts.
That's perfect.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
2nd down, they go again with Henry.
And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And they'll send Williams in motion right. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
Keanu Benton, the one who got in to bury him. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, if nothing else, they were able to pick up 1 first down on this drive and get it away from their own goal line. But not much happening after that, and it leads to a punting situation.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line.
The Steelers offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
Harris going to get it again on second down.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Here's Wilson to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, they've certainly gotten him involved in this first half, and on third down, they looked his way again. And what a delight for his quarterback to find him and keep the drive moving.
They hand this off to Harris. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 2 straight runs of 5 yards. 1st and 10.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
On the give, it's Warren.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 9.
Wilson.
Got an open man, it's Pickens.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 18. 14 yards that time for number 14. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Play action. It's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And Nick Bosa so quick on the outside. He gets in there to bring him down.
Traditionally, as a defense, your number one job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacted the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack if they do want to turn things around.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. This is caught by Williams. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Here's Wilson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. And they get 10 yards there and convert on third.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing third down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. To throw is Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
Now Wilson. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Russell Wilson, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. And this drive, Charles, very well timed as they score with very little time remaining in this first half.
And I'm reminded that they get the second half kickoff as well, so they can break this one wide open before the other guys have a chance to possess the football.
Koo now for the point after. And the lead is up to 15 now. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And able to get this out to the 25. And the Bengal offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it's 2nd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break. But I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Steelers offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29.
Throwing is Wilson. A short one there to Freiermuth. That'll go for a gain of 7. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now.
Wilson.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
On the return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now it's Burrow. And this one complete to Smith. It'll go as a gain of 4. 3rd and 7 now. Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Inside handoff, Henry. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He's got it to Williams. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Now Burrow. Complete. Smith has it. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Now it's Burrow.
To the sideline and incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Here's Burrow. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Bengals first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
Well, part of their struggles in the first half was their inability to convert consistently on 3rd down. But how about this well-designed play? Gave himself plenty of options and able to get the hook up and keep the drive going.
Burrow looking to pass. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. He's got Smith here.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. In motion goes the tight end. From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Finding Williams once more, complete. So the completion good for 7 there, and that will bring up 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well, great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. McCaffrey running up the middle, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. The Steelers ready for their next possession. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by,
we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
And they get 17 more on that one and another first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Looking for Pickens. He's got him on the out route. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
And shedding the tackle, and now some room. Still going. And finally wrestled down at the 11. 125 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Wilson to throw. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Steelers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Coup for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The whole world's throwing us rocks, I keep on jumping, yeah. I ain't got time, but you gotta get your heads right. I'll find some rope, and you can go and hang tight. It's getting dark, darkest midnight. This beat swinging so hard, in the fist.
The Bengals drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Right back to Njoku. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give more credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
This is caught by Williams. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Again, it's Burrow. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
From the 29, here's the 2nd down and 4. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Burrow will throw. It's caught on the right side. Williams. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Burrow. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. They'll run for it with Henry. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
A Burrow and the Bengals offense staying put. They'll go for 2 here.
The Bengals will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll try and run it in with Henry. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. touchdown. McPherson on to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Austin is there and brings in another one. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing is Wilson. A short one there to Freiermuth. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
3rd and 12. Wilson. And that is incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. He'll start with a give to Henry, and he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Throw over the middle. He finds Williams. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the 1st. Now Burrow. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Burrow looking to pass. The throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. He had no options downfield there and just chucked it out of bounds.
There was no one open. He was in the pocket. Where was the intentional grounding call?
Oh, you wanted the flag.
Of course I did. I'm a defensive guy. You know that. Where was the flag? The officials point out that someone was in the area. He got away with one.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. To the air again, Burrow. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Alex Highsmith with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and now it's 3rd and 3.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 141 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Here's Wilson. Got an open man. It's Pickens. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Out route, and he connects with Freiermuth. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And it's caught on the deflection. And this is going to be a touchdown. I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it was finished off by a George Pickens touchdown grab. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
But that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
George Pickens and the Steelers headed back out for another series. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Harris running straight ahead, and he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 168 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. Now here's another carry for Harris. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And Harris is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Mike Williams, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Steelers have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth. So add another one into the touchdown column. What a game. That is now 6 touchdown passes for him so far in this one. Koo now for the point after. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So this drive spans 7 plays. And in the end, it was Mike Williams who capped the drive with a touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's Burrow. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
3rd down and 1. Now it's Burrow. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
From midfield now, Burrow over the middle to Smith. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. And Burrow going to throw again. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
He completes it to Henry. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 24 now, here's a 2nd and 5.
Again, he'll drop to throw. It's Williams on the catch. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
To the outside, that's complete to Williams. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Second down and 6 now.
Burrow now off the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
Henry up the middle. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Henry will take this one in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Well, I think Josh Norman can sympathize. He knows a little something about a run like this from Derrick Henry. I mean, that stiff arm might be the best in the business.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We'll see that Josh Norman play forever and ever, won't we? Because at Derrick Henry's size, 6'3", nearly 250, you know he's not shying away from contact. And here he just kept the defender at arm's length as he barreled his way into the end zone. I mean, just put that arm into the chest, and there he goes.
Aubrey good with a PAT. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. What a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics would tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the give, this is Harris. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They'll run again with Harris. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Cincinnati.